Defense lawyer in the Joshlin Smith trial is arguing that confession statements from his client were not made freely and voluntarily. Advocate Fani Harmse has told the Western Cape High Court sitting in Saldanha Bay that the statements are in some instances even untrue and that this could be grounds for their admissibility to be challenged. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi was in court for us, as she has been over the past several weeks tracking the story. Nasiphi, if indeed this was confession statements that were obtained under duress with some kind of force in place, what does the law say about their admissibility?
Well, Michelle, you put it correctly there that we have also now entered a trial within a trial for the court to decide whether or not those statements or confessions made by accused 1, Jacqueline Apollos, accused 2, Stefano van Rijn, at the sea border compound during the interrogation last year are indeed admissible, and it is now for the court to decide on that particular note. We heard Advocate Harmse defending, or rather the lawyer for accused 1, Jacqueline Apollos, detailing the torture that Jacqueline allegedly suffered at the hands of police officers, and the defense believes that the admission to guilt detailed in those statements or confession was coerced using torture.
So is that how the court is actually approaching this now, Nasiphi, that we are now going into a section of the trial? We're dealing with this one issue separately from the rest of the case?
Indeed, Michelle, we are currently in the trial within a trial as we speak with Detective Captain Wesley Lombard still on the stand answering very tough questions from the defense, who are trying to establish or rather prove to the courts that those statements taken by police officers that night/morning of the 5th of March, ahead of the 3 accused being arrested, were indeed coerced.
It was very interesting, Nasiphi, to listen to that investigating officer on the stand talking about the impact of social media on this case, the negative impact of social media of the case, including visits by the then Police Commissioner Behicele and the Patriotic Alliance leader, Gayton McKenzie, how that impacted the work police had to do with a community that was no longer cooperating.
Michelle, listening to his testimony yesterday, I gathered that for police, the hype or the attention that the disappearance of Joshlin garnered was both a blessing and a curse, as you put it. The influence that the investigation came under or suffered at the time could have impacted the case, as he mentioned that at the time there was also a lot of misinformation, to a point where when police officers were conducting their work, there would be people around them, going on TikTok lives and also spreading this misinformation. But also, something quite important that he also highlighted was the influence of politicians and community leaders at some point, saying that he felt like the community had turned against them, as what was communicated at the time to the community was that police were scaling down on resources and had stopped the investigation into the disappearance of Joshlin. And he was saying that at the time that was far from the truth, as at some particular stage there was about 151 detectives alone in Saldanha looking into the disappearance of Joshlin. We also understand that resources were pulled from the city of Cape Town to also assist in searching for Joshlin. So he was saying that was far from the truth. However, the influence that the community leaders, including a very well-known politician, had proved to be quite detrimental, not only to the outcomes of the case, but also for the safety of missing Joshlin.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, February 2024 was right in the middle of the build-up to elections 2024. So that's certainly a lens to look through the actions of politicians during that time. Nasiphi, thanks for that update.